God! I can't believe it! Oh my goodness! What a win! They did it! The Vancouver Canucks have won 7 straight for the first time since December in 2013. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh my gosh! I apologize for this intro, this very poorly delivered and just a slew of thoughts escaping my brain, oozing out of my mouth into this microphone kind of intro. But I just can't believe that we won! We won! This was a tight game, the tightest game of the year. Well, we've only had 2 games this year. The last game was pretty tight as well, but it did end 7-5. This one ends 2-1. And I will say, just on the little subject of the Chicago game and of the New York game, I want to give a big shout out to Braden Hallman. He is a defenseman on the Aldergrove Kodiaks of the PJHL. He recognized me at the mall and he said, hey, what's up? Talked about the YouTube channel, talked about PJHL hockey because I do play-by-play commentary for the PJHL. And he specifically asked me about the Vancouver Canucks game that happened the night before. This was Friday when I was approached by him. And Thursday was the Canucks game against Chicago. He asked me, yeah, so what do you think about the Canucks and their most recent game, and are you concerned about the amount of goals that the Canucks let in? The Canucks did let in 5 goals in that game, and my immediate reaction was, yeah, you know, it never feels good to give up 5 in a game, but at the same time, I'm not going to discredit the fact that that game against Chicago was very, very entertaining. And what we have here today against the New York Rangers was a game that was entertaining in different ways, but a huge nail-biter. This one had me on the edge of my seat. This one had me just staring at the TV, burning the TV rays into my eyes, and I just couldn't look away because I was so engaged and everything was being placed so perfectly, pristinely, and some of these plays that were made by the Rangers were so dangerous that I just could not keep myself from staring at the TV. This was an entertaining game where the Vancouver Canucks let in 1 goal. It's only 1. 1 is all the New York Rangers are able to get. But the Vancouver Canucks ultimately get the win with 2 goals scored by themselves. It all starts out with Antoine Roussel in the first period, who has a really interesting play because the puck gets thrown onto the net, the rebound pops out, and Roussel is there to take the puck, shoot the puck past Georgiev, and it's in. This is assisted by Bo Horvat and Loui Eriksson. Horvat sends the puck towards the net, Eriksson gets a tap on it, and Roussel is there to pot it in. It's 1-0 Vancouver a minute into the game. So at this point, I'm like, yeah, okay, great. This is like however many games in a row the Canucks have scored first, right? So that's really great to see, especially in contrast to what we had at the beginning of the year, where we couldn't score first to save our lives. Then the first period concludes with a 1-1 score because Pavel Buchnevich gets himself a goal just about like 7 minutes after Antoine Roussel gets his goal of the game. This one's a crazy play. Alex Edler hits Buchnevich behind the play really hard into the corner, and this has got the crowd popping, but because Edler kind of hits him in the corner, Edler's kind of out of position, so he rushes back into the play. Kreider has it on the other side, sends it across to Buchnevich, who gets back up, and he gets a really nice shot in on Jacob Markstrom. So it's 1-1 at the end of the first period, and I didn't even talk about it. Hey, let's talk about the jerseys. The Vancouver Canucks were doing Retro Night today, and it was 90s night, so they were celebrating the 94 Cup Run team, which obviously I wasn't alive back then. I'm born in the year 2000, so I wasn't alive when the Vancouver Canucks went to the finals in 1994. Even when I was born in the Philippines, so I had to move here to Vancouver as a young baby. Yeah, newsflash, I'm an immigrant. But
They paid tribute to the 1994 team. They had a really, really good cast of ex-Canucks out there on the ice. Some of these really important, memorable names. Jyrki Lumme was out there, Cliff Ronning, Dave Babich. Then we got some other guys like Greg Adams, Kirk McLean, etc. Some of these guys were really iconic back then, and it's always great re-watching that 94 run, just noticing the difference in the game of hockey, how it was played, and just understanding the cultural impact that run had on this city. Obviously, because they rioted at the end, but not even just the riots, but the whole sense of camaraderie and the whole bandwagon, for lack of a better term, that built in this city based off of that hockey team. I say bandwagon because everybody was cheering for this team, and it was the thing to do. Everybody was all on board. So it's really nice to take a look at that tribute, and the Canucks were wearing the spaghetti jerseys as a result. The second period saw the Vancouver Canucks have a lot of power play opportunities. The Canucks in this one were 0 for 3 on the power play in general, and it was actually really weird because the second period saw Ryan Strome take a tripping penalty against Brock Besser, Brady Shea had a high sticking penalty, and then Greg McKegg went to the penalty box because there was a face-off violation, which I didn't even really understand how that works. I remember seeing that happening, but I saw the play unfold and I saw what happened. The New York Ranger got waved out of the face-off dot. Greg McKegg came in to the face-off dot. He won the face-off, but then they called it a penalty. I'm not actually too sure why that's a penalty. So if anybody in the comments, if you're willing to explain, if you know why that was a penalty, a face-off violation, please type that out in the comments. I don't know. I would actually really like to understand what that means and what entails in a face-off violation, because to my memory, I don't think I've ever seen a play like that called before. But alas, the Vancouver Canucks go on the power play for the third time in this second period off of that face-off violation, and they don't convert. They don't convert at all. And it's mostly because the New York Rangers, especially with Jesper Fast and Strome and all that, their coverage on the guys like Elias Pettersson is so strong that this power play, which was mostly Unit 1, Travis Green didn't really play the second unit all too much, they didn't have any chances to convert. It was just Miller, Hughes, and Pettersson cycling it amongst the three pretty much at the blue line. They didn't get pucks towards the net, and when they did get pucks towards the net, they were swallowed up by Georgiev, and he just covered it up, saved the play. Another face-off comes after that. So the Vancouver Canucks were just pounding these opportunities towards the net. Not all of them went through, and the ones that did were easily saved. So as a result, it was a very unsuccessful 3 power play opportunities for Vancouver, and I was kind of thinking, okay, if they lose this game, it's gonna be because they're not able to convert on that power play. This team has so much more talent than what they've been showing out there. And believe me, they were good, but they were so stagnant. And the passes were nice, tape to tape and all that, but nothing was getting towards the net successfully, and no rebounds, no dirty, greasy goals that were out in front being generated. And I was just like, okay, third period, we gotta see a different Canucks team than that. And boy, we saw a different Canucks team than that. This Canucks team was not good. The New York Rangers had their trap system on 110% in that third period. The Adam Fox and Tony DeAngelo pairing made its debut in this game, and it was something that we didn't really see all throughout the entire game, but it is something that New York has been doing over the past few weeks. And the Rangers were just doing a really good job shutting down the Vancouver Canucks breakout attempts, and they were getting so many good shots on Jacob Markstrom. Really good opportunities, rebounds, cross creases, long shots that get deflected, and a really weird tip on the side of the net from Chris Kreider. Even a play out in front where the pass goes right through the slot, forces Jacob Markstrom to make a stacking the pad save. He goes all Kirk McLean when Kirk McLean is in the building, and the Vancouver Canucks are absolutely under siege in this third period. Up until pretty much the end of the third period, where the play is brought into the Ranger zone. Hughes goes for a skate, goes around the net, Sends it over to Bo Horvat, who feeds the point to Tyler Myers, who takes a shot, and oh my goodness, he scores! Tyler Myers gets the goal that's eventually the game-winning goal. This goal had me screeching like a little girl. Oh my goodness, what a goal. It wasn't even that great of a goal. He just shot it, and like, the goalie was screened, he couldn't really see it. But with 1:30 to go, the Vancouver Canucks are up on top in a game where they were pretty much dominating the second period in terms of possession, but the Rangers were absolutely dominating in the third based off of chances, possession, puck luck, and all of that. But at the end, it's a Vancouver 2-1 win. And for the first time since the 2013-14 season, we've won 7 in a row. I can't believe it. I can't. So, to the little conversation I had yesterday where we talked about the Canucks letting in a whole bunch of goals against the Chicago Blackhawks in what was an exciting game, they let up way less goals in this one, and this one was arguably as entertaining, if not even more. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed this video. Social 9, and bye.